So here's the new thing. The news are we're back in Vietnam. Right now we're in Saigon, and let's have a chat. Feel free to ask questions, and I'll tell you about everything. So let's see, because I haven't been active for the last 2.5 months. I've been uploading videos and doing the live streams on and off, but it hasn't been as much as I used to do when firstly I started doing it in Vietnam. Who are you? Okay, there's someone new here. My name is Diana. My channel is Red Hat Diaries, and I suggested to look up the channel, and then you will find out who I am. I do live streaming, I do some videos, some vlogging, training videos, boxing videos, and live streams, and sometimes just Q&As and talking, having conversations, that kind of stuff. Good morning, good evening here from Saigon. Your English access, it's awesome. If you mean my English is good, thank you, I appreciate it. I worked a lot to learn it. That is my third language, basically. But yeah, guys, feel free to engage in the chat, ask questions. For new people who is interested what the channel is about, it's actually about training, boxing, that kind of lifestyle. So you can look up the channel and see yourself. I had a little gap with live streaming and creating content lately. I was back in Georgia. I'm Georgian originally. I'm from the same country as Merab Dvalishvili, Topuria, Ilie Topuria, and some other famous Georgians. Now we're back to Vietnam, and looking forward to get back to training, live stream more about it, like I used to do. Where are you from? I'm originally from Georgia, Sakartvelo, born in Tbilisi. Right now, me and my husband are in Saigon. It's my dream to speak like you. Just practice and you will get good at it. Is there anyone around you? I can show you where am I. This is one of the many coffee shops in Vietnam, in Saigon specifically. Literally in every city in Vietnam, one of the most common things you have is coffee shops. This one, ironically, it is vegetarian. And I used to be vegetarian very long ago, but now I'm not. I just came here to do a little work before the live streaming, and I got my coconut, had coffee a little bit earlier, and that's basically it. I guess Vietnam is cheaper to live in than Georgia. Absolutely, yes, it is. Can you guide me to speak like you? I'm from India. Well, you try to choose the material for practicing that excites you, that you like. So things like listening, speaking, reading, translating, learning words, basic grammar, those are essentials. You have to go through that. But no one said that you have to do it according like a basic learning books necessarily. What I was doing, I was using internet, a lot of YouTube, a lot of articles. I'm in the fitness industry and training, boxing, all that kind of stuff. So I would use science-based articles and fitness articles for translation, because I wanted to learn more about that as well. And for listening, I would watch traveling videos, because that was something that excited me the most. Unlike movies, I really don't like watching movies by myself. I mean, since me and my husband are together, I watch a lot of movies with him now, but that wasn't the case before. So just create a little system and obviously do all the practicing and write down the words, learn those words, and be consistent. Hey, some guy told us you work for FSB and that you were a spy traveling the world and training mercenaries. I don't know. So someone said that I look like a spy, but I would never say that if it's true. What's your profession? I'm doing personal trainings online for many years now, and not only personal trainings, but optimizing dieting, lifestyle, consulting on the health aspects when it comes to training and sleep, diet, everything that lays under the fitness field. I'm doing well. Well, feel free to ask me questions, guys. You're in Georgia right now. No, I'm Georgian, but it's our second day here in Vietnam. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. I enjoyed your boxing match live stream, Canelo Crawford, I think. Yeah, that was a long one because I watched the whole main card, and actually went through the basically commentary, doing the commentary for all of those fights, and it was approximately, I think I was live around 4 or 5 hours, but it was good. I appreciate you that you're saying it. Do you immigrate to other countries to collect souls? Gingers have a soul, but I'm not even natural ginger, so I'm just an imposter. Do your efforts, but I cannot took such an accent like you in the speech. Well, you gotta practice on that one because of my Georgian and Russian background. I can talk like this if I didn't put an effort. You see? If I was lazy with trying to sound like a generic English, I would sound like this. But I'm not sounding like that because that is a separate thing you should practice. Just try to repeat those accents that are generic English, it comes from generic American usually. If you like a little bit more British, they talk a little bit like this, but I wouldn't recommend to impersonate British accent because they would just laugh at you. So general, I would say American English. Try to copy that and it's just gonna become relatively generic. Okay. Okay, I'm from Georgia, guys. Okay, there are some Georgians here I can see. Yeah, I speak Russian, I speak Georgian, both. Keep scrolling up. Someone said to follow the chat, so I'm just going to try to keep it short. Do you married? I'm married, yes. And we travel together. Tapuria or Islam? Well, depends on the weight class, but 50-50 to me. It's still a 50-50 fight. We'll see. Do you think it might be on the White House card? It's honestly, the Jones versus Tom would make more sense and kind of create all the fuss. But there is still a chance that Ilya versus Islam. Let's see what Islam does with GDM first. I don't care that much about accents, but I can say the reason why. I don't know. I think having a little accent, there is nothing wrong with that. But what I really don't like is when people speak like they don't put effort at all into learning a basic grammar, just a basic grammar, and a little accent just to make it more generic. Because I met some people who really don't put an effort in it, so I don't know. I don't really like it that much, but it's really individual. Mexican. Oh, it's funny. My husband's from Norway, and his joke is everything south is a Mexico for Norway. So he actually calls me Mexican sometimes. And then there was this video where a Chinese man, he was impersonating Trump, and he was on the Chinese wall, and literally, like he's like, okay, here is this is Chinese wall. After they're like, like the Trump, the way the Trump talks, he was like doing it very funny way, having like a cowboy hat, and then he says, here on this side we have Mexicolians, Mongolians, Mexicolians. So here is the new joking good term for you. იმენა გვერდზე გადადე ჩემ მესიჯში თუ რა წამოწამო ძალიან პოზიტივ პიროვნება ვარ არ მოიწყენ. That was Georgian, and that was very kind of Georgian talk that I don't really like. ანუ ეს წამოწამო არა იყოს ესეთი, არ ვიცი ვიეტნამში ხარ თუ არა, მაგრამ მე და ჩემი მეუღლე ვართ და ზოგადად არ მოვიწყენ, ისეც არ მოწყენ, არ ვარ მოწყენილი, მაგრამ მადლობა შემოთავაზებისთვის. What happened in your country? Is everything okay? Well, political situation is not very good at this point. Also, it's getting colder now, and well, when it is colder, I really prefer tropical climate. I'll be honest. So, yeah, we just decided to come back to Vietnam for many reasons. But obviously, it's not. We don't like to. This is like a part-time base, Vietnam, for us. So this is how we're planning to spend. We're planning to spend next few months here. Ilan Mirab, best fighters in the UFC. I mean, one of the best, and we Georgians are proud of it. But let's be honest, like so far, Mirab is probably was one of the biggest, like a champion underdog, and before becoming a champion. But the guy is evolving from fight to fight, doing his best. With the rematch with O'Malley, he did the submission. With the Corey, he almost knocked him out and almost guillotined him. And like it was a better fight. Like his striking is getting better. His grappling becomes cleaner and like way more entertaining, and the guy is like now he's gonna have a title defense with Petr Yan. I mean, come on, you gotta give Mirab credit. I think he earned that. Well, someone said about the mental health and having an issues. I mean, it's the way you feel, and it's the perception you have at this point for whatever reasons. It might be because of the lifestyle, because of some stressful events happening in your life that trigger that. But just remember that this is how you feel. This is not how necessarily life is at this point. I mean, a lot of bad things happen, but also a lot of good things happen, and it really depends which environment you're in, what is the lifestyle you're following. So I think to be able to deal with those kind of things, I think the best thing you can learn is to stand your ground and stay strong, even at the lowest periods. Even when you don't feel good, try to have learn a little discipline, work on yourself, do one thing at a time. Try to improve your situation, even when it doesn't feel good. When you learn that, I think everything's possible. Okay, and keep scrolling up. Okay, and keep scrolling up, guys. What language is this? The one way I spoke, it was Georgian, I think. Can you box speak a Busta like a Mike Tyson? I can do a little bit impersonation, but let's be honest, it is very energy consuming style. Peekaboo is one of the hardest styles, and that is the biggest con of it. It's almost impossible to do it the entire 15 rounds that efficiently. That's why well, Tyson basically was finishing most of his fights in the earlier rounds, and yeah, that's, to me, that is one of the hardest styles to execute. Can you show the whole of the cafe, please? Yes, of course. So this is the cafe, and the cool thing about Vietnam is there are a lot of very cool themed cafes and coffee shops pretty much all around. Okay, and please guys, please don't spam, okay? I would appreciate that a lot. Out of curiosity, is Georgian language similar to other Caucasian countries, or they are totally different? Could you pick up some words from Armenia, for example, or from northern regions like Dagestan? Georgian language is completely different, and Armenian language, so both of those languages are completely unique in their own ways. We have some, in Georgian, we have some Persian and Arabic words, maybe like common words that got integrated into Georgian language, but pretty much there is just a group of Georgian languages. There is generic Georgian, there is Svanetian, there is Megrelian, I think those, and that's it. So, except some of the words, like I'll tell you, Panjara is window, and it's a Persian word. Hurda, Parda, Hurda is coins, Parda is the curtains. Those also come for Persian. Except that, not that much. You're cute, thank you. What is the stream about? They're asking. Just talking. I mean, I just want to get back into the groove. The last couple months been a little bit. I tried my best to be on YouTube and, you know, be consistent. Though it was just not as good as I wanted to do it. So now back to Vietnam, and this was the best place where I actually was very productive. So even though it's just the second day and we're still settling down, I'm trying to get back to do it more consistently. So today it's just a Q&A. You look gorgeous, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm Vietnamese, where are you right now? Saigon, Ho Chi Minh. Finally, you removed the thing in your teeth. Well, finally, yes, I'm happy about that too. So now I have a proper teeth. It's actually funny that someone noticed that. For new people here, I used to have braces. Okay, I'm just scrolling up, guys, and now all the way up on the top. How old are you now? I'm 25 years old. You're very kind-hearted, ma'am. Really, the innocence I can see in your eyes is calming. I appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, that's very sweet. You visited any Arab countries? I think the only one was Kuwait. Okay. But anyways, this is just a Q&A. Let's just talk kind of stream. Usually, and that's what I used to do usually, and I want to get back to it, is to do more like boxing, training streams. I also thinking to once a week, apart from all of my other trainings, hire another trainer. His name is An Bekin Chang, and he's a great boxing coach. So I will show you that, how other coaches training me, and you know, we're trying to clean up the technique and all that kind of stuff. Back in Georgia, I did a couple sparrings, like heavy ones, and well, I felt that it doesn't really. I feel calm. That's the best thing. I don't get like, you know, scared or tense. But there are also certain things that needs to be cleaned up. Like, as much as I worked on using my hands and that worked, there's certain things like when it comes to distance control, not only backing off, but like backing off and then stepping in. those things I want to work on better, and hopefully looking into, if not Vietnam, maybe Thailand as the big fighting scene in general. Maybe do some boxing match there within next few months, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see. As I said before, I'm not rushing to. I don't want to just go and do things without the proper preparation. Okay, you're beautiful. You're pretty. Thank you. Appreciate it. Unlike you, I will. I mean, Joseph says a lot of things, but I kind of didn't catch the context because he writes a lot. I'm actually not too quick to judge, but you are transparent. Well, I hope you mean that in a positive meaning. Your accent is hot. Thank you. Okay. Anxious more than usual. Me? I don't know. You like Manny, you mean Pac-Man. One of my favorite all-time boxers. He's always confident. You know, I think I'm pretty much calm. I think I'm pretty much good with myself, and that's the type of confidence I usually have. But as everyone, I have some moments of insecurity, and it is normal. That's why first of all, I have my husband, who is always reminding me that I got this. But it's also, you know, friends and like the closest inner circle that are not trying to put me down, but opposite. They always remind me that I got this, and it matters. We cannot be strong and resilient, confident all the time. That's why it matters, the circle that you create around yourself. Manny Pacman or Mike Tyson. I mean, I always say Tyson is my all-time favorite, but I'm specifically talking about the Picabo style, like that was like just magnificent, the prime Tyson fight. Though I would say combination of the lifestyle, the background, the personality, the boxing, and the journey itself, I think Manny Pacquiao is like the greatest, and I think pretty much everyone loves him. Have you ever had a beat up on any of all your BFs, like best friends or boyfriends or something? No, never. I don't like beating people up. A lot of people who do martial arts and boxing or any other martial arts, they actually are not really that violent out of the gym. Did you get your braces off? Congrats. Yes, I did, and I think it looks good. You're so nice. I appreciate. Thank you. Thank you for being nice, guys, as well. Where are you from, ma'am? I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi. Got a question? Go ask about it. Ilia Topuria, I think you should ask, watched him? Of course. And by the way, Ilia is in Tbilisi right now. And it's funny enough, Georgia is such a small country. So my classmate, not classmate, she was like another class, but the same year. And well, I know her, like we haven't been friends or something. So her name is Nutsa Topuria, and she's a good singer, and she's famous in Georgia, and she's like a very beautiful girl. So her name is Nutsa Topuria, and Topuria is kind of like a common surname. And then like now that Ilia came like to Tbilisi for a visit, she posted a picture of his sisters, him, and someone else, and herself, and it's like, oh, Topuria reunion. So it's like, okay, so she's apparently a cousin, or she's related to Ilia somehow. But yeah, Georgia is such a small country. That's for sure. I mean, you have no complexity in you. You're totally innocent, ma'am, really. I mean, I don't think, except the children, up until a certain age when they, go through the phases of development, no one is innocent. We all make mistakes. We all learn. It's just about When you're an adult, when you become an adult, it's about learning the decency and be transparent and be honest, be respectful, truthful to yourself in the first place, and then others. And yeah, I mean, why is there any reason to be, if you try to pretend to be someone else, you're just lying to yourself in the first place. Pac-Man, my favorite. One of the great, like, Pac-Man is amazing. It's okay, nobody's perfect, we fail often. Absolutely. I had this another live stream about the importance of actually failing, because without the failure, without, call it whatever you want, it's just, you know, a matter of words, but failure is important. It's essential for the growth, because if you don't fail, if you don't make a mistake, and you don't learn from it, you're not going to grow. At the same time, try not to make the same mistakes many times. Then it becomes a pattern. But if you just, you know, something happens, you misjudge things or you make a mistake, but then you learn from it, you stay accountable, you stay truthful to yourself, then you just grow, you evolve as a person. Italian food, French food, or Vietnamese food? I would be honest, Vietnamese food. I love it. You're from Georgia? Yes, from Tbilisi. Your favorite MMA fighter? There are a few obvious Georgian fighters, both Ilya and Merab, Volkanovski. I'm going to talk about current ones. Pereira and that comeback. I was cheering for Alex even more than Merab, because with Merab I knew the outcome and I was quite excited to see how the fight went. To me, it was very entertaining, and maybe one of the most entertaining fights of Merab was Corey. But then when Poatan just went in and like there was this shot of his face, like, you know, like very scary, very focused, and I knew, okay, something's gonna happen now, and it happened. It wasn't even a match, like it happened too quickly, but the aura, the effect of it was like, he's back. So yeah, I mean, Alex Pereira is one of the all-time favorites as well. What's the best technique to break Philly shell defense? A very good long distance work, jabbing out, catching on the cross, yeah, and a good distance control, like forward, backwards, obviously some angle control to being able to like a side step through the ropes, and basically work as a good second number. And then with the sorry, against Philly shell, for some reason I was like peekaboo. I had the, I don't know, it's like I thought you were saying peekaboo style, so because it's a pressure and you kind of need to. With a Philly shell, well, Philly shell is basically the movement, bam, bam, okay? What you want to do is, you want to have that hand up, because it always goes, like on the Philly shell, they're gonna try to do the contra, cross punch or something like that after the defense. Basically block that cross and create a distance where you can, like they do bam, bam, you do get it on, and then you're somewhere in the middle, like you can even sleep, and then boom, boom, like something like that. You know, there are ways to do to work around, but you can also do the same Philly shell technique and just find the timing, and that's gonna become like an exchanging type of boxing. So yeah, there are many ways, and it's feel free to experiment with it and try different things if you practice. But I'll keep scrolling through the chat. Everything's going well, thank you. Good day to you as well, guys. There are some, yeah, vegetarian, but I'm not vegetarian. So, but you can, as a vegetarian, you can find a lot of vegetarian dishes here in the Vietnam. I already said my favorite MMA fighter. Okay, please, Rishi, don't spam. GSP is one of my all-time favorites too, but I kind of mentioned the current ones. So please don't spam. Otherwise, I will have to time you out. named Kanye West's best song. I can't tell you best song. I'm not. That's not really my type of music, but I think Stronger is the like. I think everyone who trains like likes that song. Yeah, like working harder make you better. I think that was his. Yeah. Okay. No worries. No need to apologize. Just yeah, just don't spam. That's it. I'm trying to go through the chat and read everything. Love from London. Hi to London. Love from and greetings from Vietnam. That's his song. Yeah. Like my type of music is more hard rock, heavy metal, classic rock, some country, and mixes like a country blues, country rock, just blues, a little bit of jazz, like some modern music as well. And there's some specific songs too. Sometimes I listen more like a rap and rap music as well. But I would say like 60s, 70s, 80s rock music, and the rock with the mix of different stuff is pretty much my favorite music. Redheads are the pinnacle of European genes, not blue-eyed blondes. Redheads make strawberry than blondes. Well, I'm not even a redhead. I'm actually, because of the Slavic roots, I have like a light brown or the light ash hair color. Like right now, you cannot see it because it's dyed, newly dyed. So I'm like refresh my hair every month or two. But I'm the mix of Caucasian, basically a Caucasian region, like Georgian from my father's side, and some Armenian also from the same side, and Slavic, which is my mom is from Crimea, and she's mix of Russian, Ukrainian, and you know that's what I'm aware of. I wish I get the genetical test one day and actually can see more of the mix, because I'm pretty much sure there must be more. What are your hobbies? I create art. I like drawing. Actually, I am looking forward to do Canva painting and live stream that once we're back to Nha Trang. So I hope you'll see that one too. I like singing. I was even doing karaoke live streams, and maybe I'll get back to it like once a week. I'm not looking forward to get on a consistent two or three times per week like I used to do, but maybe I will do once. We'll see if we agree on that. And yeah, that's pretty much. I like creating art, learning languages, and sing. Do you like Indian music or Indian food or anything that's Indian? Indian food is great. Sometimes it can be too much, but it's delicious. In Indian music, I don't really listen to it. Both parents are from the Ukraine as well. Well, my mother is from Crimea, basically. Hola, you're gorgeous. Thank you. Have you been in India? Yes, I've been in India in 2024 for 1 month. Me and my husband traveled. We were in Mumbai, Goa, then Amritsar, and then Haridwar with a train. Then we went to Rishikesh and we stayed a little bit there. I loved Rishikesh, by the way, and Delhi. And then we flew back to Tbilisi. Love your red hair. Thanks. What languages do you speak? I speak Georgian, Russian, and English fluently. And recently, I looked into Croatian language, and it is like quite a generic Slavic language. Has a lot of Slavic, like older Slavic words, and it was like, I think if I try to learn it, I might learn it within the 2-3 months because it's very similar to Russian. It's not similar, but the roots, and like as a Russian speaker, I can understand many words where that comes from and the roots and the meaning of it. It's kind of common meaning of it, or sometimes it's just a synonym, and it's easy to learn that way. Good for memorizing. I saw your karaoke club. You sing well. Thanks. I mean, it's a matter of practice. One of the reasons I agreed to do that was to practice and get better at it. I'm no disrespect. No disrespect, but you are genuinely gorgeous. Thank you. That was no disrespect for sure. Do you like Mexican food? Everyone loves Mexican food. Yes, I do love Mexican food. I like guacamole, quesadillas, like whatever, everything Mexican. And back in Georgia, we actually have some Mexican friends, and one friend, while she used to be in Tbilisi, she had a Mexican restaurant. It was vegetarian, so she would make vegetarian Mexican food, but for us, she would make like a proper food with meat, and it was very good. She's back in Mexico now. FSB agent. I don't know what you're talking about. One thing you like most about India? Let me think. I think the temples. Temples are like whatever you are, Hindu, Buddhist, Jain, like that type of temples. It's very interesting to be there, and it's very unique vibe there. Thank you for all the kind words and compliments. I appreciate you guys. You must not be liking Putin, as most of Georgians. No, I don't. Not his politics, not his policies, and also I have some people who live in Russia, and a lot of Russians are not happy, and after the war started, they're getting more and more not happy out of what is going on in their country. Authoritarianism is not a good thing. It never ends well. I'm from Dagestan. I want to train with you for one day. I mean, right now I'm in Vietnam, so I don't think it's possible. Some people some guys were telling me, "Oh, come to Dagestan. It's gonna be good training for you." I was like, I never seen a single woman training in Dagestani gyms. I'm sorry, but I don't think it's a good place for women athletes to train. On the other hand, Georgia, you're welcome. A lot of more and more female Georgians are in boxing. We already have a judo stars like Eterli Parteliani, for example, and there are wrestling, rugby team. Pretty much even football. Like there are a lot of sports that women and the couple. There is one MMA fighter. She's Georgian, and she's doing well. I think she's like doing quite well, and she's Topuria as well, Mariam Topuria. So yeah, the Topurias seem to be great. But yeah, I love to train in Georgia because there is a lot of opportunities to train as a female fighter or boxer in Georgia. One thing that you strongly dislike about India, I would say a caste system, or that disparity between like the few classes, and there's some lower classes that are just living in the poverty and don't have access to the things. But it's also a very big country, so it's kind of understandable when you have that many people, and it was ingrained in culture. So far as I know, now they're trying to change it. They're trying to decrease that gap between social levels. Researching my interest in the Kailasa temple. Oh, I see. I mean, I don't remember specifically. I've been Which temples I've been in? I just don't remember names. I just remember they were. I've been in like a specific Jain temple because we were visiting our Jain friends. So they brought us to the. I think it was like a Lord Mahavira temple. After one of their, it's like the Buddha for them. So it's very similar storyline to Buddhism. And I've been in some Hindu temples as well. Hey cutie, don't tell me you're another man hater. Well, it's funny because most of my audience are men, and all I do is, training boxing and giving some tips. I'm married myself, so I'm happily married, and I definitely don't hate my husband. And I don't think I do hate anyone, like really. Because if we think about it, anger and hatred, like the uncontrolled, if those emotions are controlled, those are personal weaknesses. If I let that rage because I get triggered by someone or something, I put myself in a situation where, raging out, there is no point of it. I'm not winning anything out of that. So I think people who are hating someone, I mean, there's some people who just follow the agenda and basically they follow certain social agendas and spread through social medias, and just it's very easy to make someone hate someone nowadays. There is also obviously a reasonable hate when a group of people or a person was harmed by another group of people, or other people. Let's say if a woman was abused by her father and her brother, and then she married by her husband. Well, that's the only thing she saw, and it's her personal experience, and that feels more than a general statistics. We cannot experience statistics. We can only experience our personal. So there is some hater that can have a ground and a solid reason. But at the end of the day, you gotta let it go and really look into. I mean, statistics. It might sound cliche, but you gotta. Sometimes you gotta put your personal feelings out, on the side. Heal, become liquid like water. Relax. Don't be try to overcome reactiveness and reactive emotionality, and then try to look at how it's actually working. And statistics help to see the general picture, how the things going on in the world, or a specific country, or a specific region, within the specific groups of people, etc. So I'm not I ranted a little bit, but I'm not a man hater or anything like that. Thank you. I appreciate all the good words, people. I really do. It's just saying random stuff. Well, I'm answering to random questions. You married? Yes, I am. Kalisa Temple is the most advanced ancient building on the planet, more advanced than Giza pyramids. Well, I'll look into it. Now I kind of got interested. Correct. Here is a lot of discrimination at the level of casteism and many things. I mean, yeah, and that's never good. Back then, it was just the way it happened, But now, times change. We evolve. People, humanity, cultures, they evolve. And if you see, the more cultures that stick into the past and they cling on all the traditions they have way too much, they don't evolve, because you gotta there's certain things you need to preserve as a culture and tradition and positive tradition, but there are certain things you just have to change, because this is, I believe, if you don't have a movement, if you don't have a transformation, you don't evolve. You just stay on the same level, and that relates not only to the cultures but to the personal growth as well. Hell yeah, that's what's up. Was on the worst live. She crashed out on the specific subject. I didn't get that one, but okay. Like the Buddha says, anger is like picking up a hot burning stone to throw at somebody. You hurt them, but you also hurt yourself in the process. That's a good saying. That's a good wisdom. Okay, and keep scrolling up, guys. Do you like pho? Of course I like pho. I like buncha. Buncha is another type of soup, but I like pork buncha. Yeah, and pretty much I love Vietnamese food. Kalayasa not so much built, more etched out of stone. Oh, that's interesting. As I said, I'm gonna look it up. Hi, David from Australia. Hi, guys, to everyone. I guess you're not an FSB FSB agent. After all, I'm glad you're convinced in that now. Train in Thailand. Yeah, it's good to train in Thailand. Well, in Vietnam we have a great gym also to train in, but I think I would go for the more sparring or even a fight experience in Thailand. But for boxing, not Muay Thai. Do you have a female friends that box as well or train with you? Well, I have one of my closest friends. She's a great boxer. She's a southpaw. She boxes like a guy, very talented. But she's in Belgium and she's Georgian. But she made it to the Belgium team, and yeah, I mean we talk quite frequently, and we share our experiences. She gives me some pointers. I give her some pointers when it comes to the diet and the weight management, all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, we're not training together right now. Do Georgians know how to speak Russian? Can the average Georgian speak and understand it? Most of Georgians do. A lot of older generation who were born in the Soviet Union or even post-Soviet Union, because the families usually speak. There are also a lot of families like mine that is like Georgians marrying Ukrainians or Russians, and like basically Russian-speaking people, other Russian-speaking people, and that will be a communication language within the family, like in my case. And younger people tend to learn more English now, and even though some of them know Russian from the families, they rather refuse speaking Russian at this point because of political tension, or they don't really know actually. What question would you like to ask God? That's an interesting question. I think, I don't know. I don't have specific questions. The biggest question I always had is how to find that inner peace and maintain it, and how. Maybe I would ask actually, how is he doing? There's all like if there is a God, there's the like entity. To me, I like to call it universe. I think it's way more something that we cannot comprehend, and that's why we visualize it as an entity. But I do believe it's something more than that. But if we would imagine, or if it present to us or to me as an entity, I would ask it, how are you doing? How is is it hard to be a God? What's your struggles with that? Like, what's your story? That's what I would ask you. Are you running from being conscripted in military? No, I'm not from Russia, so definitely not. I don't think they conscript women, though I know there are a lot of nurses they need. So maybe they conscript some nurses in Russia. But no, I don't, fortunately. What do you mean when you say she boxes like a guy? Literally. Like if you look at it, I mean, there are women that just are, I mean, they have a technique and stuff, but they're a little bit slower. the positioning of like the body movement and that kind of stuff are a little bit different. She, like, if you look at her in the picture, she's also like, she's a tomboy. Yes, she's lovely, but like she looks like a boy. When you look at her training, you would think that that's a guy. Simple as that. Her head movement, her body movement, as a southpaw, how she controls the angle. That's pretty much what I mean. Perestroika was good or bad? I think that was good. Is it normal that they're to get married in a blood relation? Please say honestly. I don't feel it's, but if you're asking me if I didn't exactly get the question. If you're asking me about the incest, if it's like okay or not, well, the main reason why incest is not okay, putting aside the moral stuff and like all that kind of stuff, it just messes up genetics. It just increases the risks of the degeneracy, the other health different diseases and health issues. If you look at any dynasty, not only the religions and areas that do that, but like a lot of royal dynasties used to do that in many cultures, in many countries. They developed a lot of issues. So it just doesn't work genetically. That's the biggest factor. So yeah, it's not good. Don't do it. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. Do you believe that God has a personal name? I think God has many names, or that entity universe has many names. That's why I think that there is not a single path through, let's say, Abrahamic religion, just like Christianity. There are many ways to seek that inherent truth, and there is. I also think that it's way more complex than just the good or bad, or like white and black. It's way more complex. The universe is way more complex, and now we have the luxury of actually looking more into the science of it too, and maybe one day it's going to help us to unlock a certain knowledge too, because before the science was there, a lot of things were just a result of the imagination and the culture, and actually interesting fact, natural psychedelics played a big role into developing humans' imagination and doing certain spiritual experiences, and maybe that is actually like a key to seeing other worlds or experiencing something out of this world. But the point is, that's the only thing they had at our ancestors in the different religions and in the different cultures. Right now, we can have certain beliefs when it comes to that. But also we can have certain information, and I think that's gonna become bigger in the future because the exponential development and growth of everything at this point, technology, the AI. So yeah, I don't think it has a name. I think it's just it's something that we cannot fully comprehend with our minds. Maybe your husband's running. I would run too, and fighting worse for a psychopath. I mean, very much. I usually don't judge anyone when it comes to that. It's a real tough topic, and as much people, can be judgmental. Everyone has their own thoughts on it and opinions on it, and some people ready to sacrifice themselves for their morals or the reasons. Some people wants to save their family and just live a quiet life. So, and my husband is Norwegian, so he has nothing to do with that war directly. We're just traveling. We're not running around. Just traveling and enjoying our lives and trying to build our lives and follow our goals. everything in this world has a name. Why wouldn't God? Well, we give it everything. We give it things the names. So that's why I think it has many names. People believe in God because believing in something is easier than understanding it. That's a very good point. That's why I like. There is a difference between just blindly believing in something because it just gives you personal comfort, and have a faith, or even not even a faith, having a sense. Like there've been situations in my life that I just have that gut feeling of certain things, and I couldn't, like, I tried to logically analyze it, and I just left it alone because essentially I couldn't find the answers. But I do believe that, like, my way is I ask questions. Why is it happening? But I'm open for any answers. I'm not trying to. There's certain people who ask the question because they try to reject anything that is out of the physical laws and things that work in this world and facts, right? So I would say it's a balance. I think faith and belief is important, and it doesn't have to be religion. It can be a personal system of faith and belief, and not even in the God or universe. It can be something that drives you, that gives you that inner drive, motivation, strength. I don't know what call it. I think it can. You can call it individually. So beliefs and faith is important for human beings somehow, to have that purpose, to have a goal, and to just to strive to it. But at the same time, if you really want to seek and not just believe something that just comforts you, you could ask difficult questions and always question your own truth and question your own. Is it actually me trying to be objective and trying to understand certain things the way they are, or it's just me following certain agenda, following certain thoughts because I'm fearing something and I just want to feel better about it? Anyways, ranting again. Oh, you're very well-rounded in different subjects. Just I don't know, just having conversations with people. I mean, with you guys, but also I just like having conversations and actually listen to others. A lot of things that I say, I learned from other people. Whether we believe God or not, it's pretty obvious that being created the universe and not evolution. I'm a Christian. I mean, that's. I also think I like thinking about it the way that even if we have new scientific discoveries and all of a sudden it contradicts something, it doesn't have to contradict certain beliefs, because the point is, back then, that was the only information. So all the beliefs can and they should transform. And certain things you shouldn't stick in about on the things like, okay, humanity was created 6,000 years ago, like according to the Old Testament, for example, because that was the only, I don't know, information they had, or they could just come up with that because of lack of the information. So those kind of things need to be taken a little bit easier. But at the same time, if we if you take your system of belief and you apply it to the science and like actually estimated periods of how the universe was created and how old is the Earth, and since beginning the actual life on the Earth and all that kind of stuff, well, it doesn't really necessarily contradict each other. You can still say that, oh, it just happened by itself, and like, as I said, it's hard to comprehend this Big Bang and like the universe expanding and then shrinking again, and that process happening all over again. That is definitely something. It feels like it has the It's not just happening for happening. It's like a living organism. It's like a living massive entity. It's like almost living inside of that massive, can you call it entity? Anyways, I'm ranting. I'm not that, I'm not even that smart, I think, to really think that deeply about it. But I, I think that's, it doesn't have to contradict. You can be very factual and actually follow the science and actually be practical and, factual, but also have a belief system that is necessarily doesn't have to be explained by the actual fact. How was the feeling of your first love when you grew up, where we feel butterflies in stomach, very passionate? Well, it's like everything else. It's first time you feel it, and like your hormonal background like booms, because this is you're also, as that happens earlier in your life, so that is like because we are not numbed, emotionally numbed by the life and events and frustrations and all that kind of stuff. But then I'll be honest, that high school type of stomach thing, obviously I had it like everyone else. When I think about it now and I compare myself now, comparing to that period, I'm way happier, it feels better now, because the way how I feel emotions now is I start feeling that warm peace spreading all around my body. And this is the kind of love I feel towards my husband, for example. Like, the light coming out of me. It's not the butterflies and anxiety and sometimes it's almost, it's shaky. It's like a roller coaster, almost like a drug rush. That's not what I feel. I feel it maybe in the moments, but what I feel this an eternal peace. And that is, I think that is something else. And to me, that is way better, feeling that. And I think that comes from a certain level of emotional maturity and being able to process things in the right way and actually get to the right point. Because a lot of things happen and a lot of people actually develop insecurities and fears and anxieties because of unprocessed emotions. So, I think it's great to experience it in the earlier period, and I think you should. But when you feel certain things in a more mature, more calm, and more deep level, I think that's way better. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. I just don't want to, please don't spam as well. I don't want to be way behind on chat, so I'll go faster now. No, she has too much empathy to be an agent. Okay, well, thank you for that. I like learning from people. Someone said that books are good, but the best way to learn is actually learn from people. Listen. Yeah, within the Bible, Jehovah is the personal name. I guess that was the question. That was the answer you're looking for. But as I said, we give those names, and we gave it. That's why God has a lot of names. Well, ironically, today is the birthday of Friedrich Nietzsche. Okay, it's interesting. We don't talk about the superhuman thing directly. We didn't bring it up that way, but we've been talking a lot about this that maybe there's some of the traits are the ones that Nietzsche was talking about, the superhuman, and the idea that creates the superhuman. So interesting. Thanks for bringing it up. Walter said, if you can make somebody believe in absurdity, you can make them commit an atrocity. Belief is bad, but being the cause of so many wars. Absolutely agree. Belief can be good, belief can be bad. I would say even belief is good for you personally, just to actually create a sense of higher goal for yourself. But it definitely can be manipulated. It definitely can be that when you root that seed into one person, but also the groups of people. This is how you create ideologies that you root that you put that seed, the idea of that seed, and then it becomes an ideology, and well, that can be horrible. That can cause people to do horrible things, and that's not a new thing. It's kind of like a pattern for humanity throughout the history. Religions, some of the philosophies, like a separated from religious type of ideologies. There are many things that people did in their opinion for a higher goal, and actually for the righteous goal, and righteous ideas, they did horrendous things. Good morning, hope you're having a great day. Thank you, you too. I learned from Google and ChatGPT. AI is a great tool for learning, and I definitely encourage to use it. But it's good to double check with different AIs, because sometimes they actually make mistakes. Best way to learn is by doing experience. That's a good point. You don't have to learn everything through experience. I would tell you that. I think sometimes it's good to actually listen to other people's experiences, and kind of listen to them and choose. Do you actually need to go through the same thing to experience it exactly the same way? But I would say the important things that we learn in a life that is important for our personal journey, you have to experience it. You have to put that in practice. Books are not straightforward. Yes, they're not. Most people learn from all types of mediums, and well, you can learn from anything as long as you're willing to do it, as long as you're willing to ask questions. We can learn pretty much from different sources. Okay, I'm keep scrolling up, guys, and I think I'm all the way up in the top. Who's your favorite UFC fighter? Both Georgian fighters, Ilya and Merab, Volkanovski, Alex Pereira, the current ones. I have few, okay, like quite many. From the older ones, Demetrius Johnson, GSP. Yeah, and there are many other fighters that I also like. And it's just, that question, who is your favorite? Sometimes it's hard because, like, lately, for example, after the last fight of Jiri Prochaska with the Rountree, for example, I was like, Jiri is super cool. He's super weird, but like I'm starting to liking him more and more. Looking at his the past he's been through, and his personal journey. So I think there are so many stories of different fighters, and some of the stories are just captivating. And yeah, it's so. Sorry guys, when you ask me who's your favorite, like if you say like one fighter, it's very hard to me to respond it that way. Why are my comments being censored? I honestly don't know. Maybe it's some words, maybe something that you use, because I didn't do it myself. Are you Muslim yet? They come to your land, correct? It's time to convert. Well, even though Georgia is an Orthodox Christian country, and there's like around 11-12% of Muslims, just because of constant invasions. Before Russia, there was like 1,000 years of invasions and terror that Muslims did to Georgian Christians. And I don't identify myself as a Christian. I share some values, but like I don't identify myself as any specific religion. I can tell you that Islam is not a peaceful religion, and no, Georgian should not convert, and none of the Western countries and cultures should not convert. If you want to practice Islam, go to the Muslim countries. That's very simple. Jon Jones is the best. Prime Jones was. I mean, Jones has one of the best fighting IQs out there, and he was phenomenal. It's just in the last few years, it's been like cherry picking, and he's like having fights like once a year or once in 3 years. That's like, you look at Merab now, like he's doing the craziest thing. He's like doing a title defense, like he's first year of the title defense. It's already 4. Like some of the fighters, including Jones, does it in the years. So I think Jones wrecked up his legacy a little bit, but we'll see. I mean, I really think that Jones going to be there for the White House card. There was some, like, Dana was saying, "Oh, I don't trust him. Like, not going to happen." But I think that's just for the hype. They want to make show. They want to make money. Jones versus Tom Aspinall would make the most sense as the main card for that event. So we'll see. Hello from Philippines, hi, and from other places. Talk about Brazil. Well, Brazil, good football, good fighters. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like after Japanese and just general Jiu-Jitsu, creating Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think I would love to visit and learn more about the country. Do you like Khabib, Islam, or Chimaev? I think as the fighters, out of the 3, I think Islam. I like Islam the most as the fighter, and that's the combination of all his abilities and skills and the record. Islam is really, really, really great fighter. I mean, he's on the way to be a GOAT, but it depends. Depends how it goes. We know, same example with Jones. We know how easy it can be to mess up your legacy, like in the end, sometimes. Poatan, Chama, my favorite, one of my favorite, and I love that he's back. Wow, Rat Hat Warrior. You really have a lot of and lots of insight on the wisdom. Much respect, and sorry for thinking you were FSB. LOL. That's okay. I appreciate it, Keith, and I mean, thank you. It's funny. I just like laughing at the FSB agent because I've been told that before for some reason. Rampage Jackson. He was a monster in his prime. Not a very good parenting though. I remember Osho saying something about Islam and being peaceful, and they bombed one of their hotels for saying that. Yeah, it's like everything else. Religion has to be evolved. I think Islam is one of the most preserving religions. Like, it's preserved. It's pretty much how it used to be. It is the same right now. But that's the thing. I don't think it's a good thing. You can preserve the core ideas, core beliefs, core traditions. That is, cultural traditions. But certain things that have been practiced 2,000 years ago, slavery, total ownership of, your spouse and your children, for example, things like women rights. And I'm not talking about the rights of, being feminist or anything like that. I'm talking about the basic living, like the rights of being alive and, having education and all that kind of stuff. A lot of Muslim countries, it is not available. The richer ones don't have that problem that much, but it's one of the religions that is invasive. And Georgian, I'm Georgian, I'm not. Anyway, I'm coming from the country that experienced that for thousands and thousands of years, and I'm not going to change my mind on that one. Though it doesn't mean that every person who was born in a Muslim country or like they were born as Muslim are bad. I know people who are coming from the Muslim countries, but they don't really follow Quran. They don't really. They follow some of the good stuff is written there because there are some similarities with Bible actually, certain things, but they don't really agree with extreme stuff there. And that's called common sense, ladies and gentlemen. You can be born within any religion, but you can be more self-aware and actually seek for the actual truth and the actual things that are fair and things that are the way they should be for society to grow and become better. Yeah, the slaughter in Nigeria by jihadists is no joke. I mean, the facts talk the facts. I mean, I'm all for the results. You can see bigger religions, small religions, and then see their impact, good side, bad sides, but then you see how it actually works, how it affects, how actually negative or positive is only, and you just should look at the events. You cannot say, oh, but it's a good religion when the people who follow that religion make horrible things. Facts. Double tap your screens, chat. Give her a like for the truth she speaks. I mean, yeah, if you're willing to, guys. I'm a BJJ fighter. I practice BJJ a little bit, but I'm definitely not a BJJ fighter. Hi from Alaska. Hi to Alaska. Hi from Vietnam. I'm married, guys. I appreciate you for telling me that, but I'm married. Rampage is a good live streamer. He's funny. I mean, yeah, he's funny. It just was sad a little bit. What I never liked about Rampage is the live streams he did with his son. I saw how he, and it's not called tough love, okay, guys? There is a difference between tough love and actually bullying and teasing and, digging and creating insecurities in your children, because what happened to Raja, it's his responsibility as an adult, but it is a product of the many years of basically living in the shadow of his own father and also being teased by his father. Those things can make a normal people who don't really want to do harm do some horrible things sometimes because of the ego, because of that, rage that was accumulated for years. So, but generally he's funny. Just for information, what is the status of the extramarital affair there? Well, I'm married and that's it. Christian. I would say I have my personal belief system. Sufism is okay, a branch of Islam, a lot of good Muslim poets. I mean, it's very important. Like same as in the Christianity, you have very extreme Christian branches. I'll be honest, mostly they're not as extreme as the jihadists and stuff, but they're still more, how to say that, outdated, more, not as good, not as progressing, and they're also, Christianity that is more accepting, and based on those roots that was the 10 main laws, which is, love, forgive, don't steal, don't kill, that kind of stuff. Meram number 1. Yeah, I mean, the guy's proving himself more and more. I didn't see any bad stuff like that. Sounds bad. I mean, bad things happen in the life, and I think the best thing we can do is, instead of being ignorant, but also instead of being too hyper-focused on one thing, we just need to talk about it in the way that, okay, why is it bad? Why are those bad things happening, and how would you prevent it? So basically we need to, as the societies and people, talk about how to solve those problems, put our personal feelings aside, and actually focus on the potential solutions. What do you do for a living? I work online. I'm self-employed for many years now. I do personal training, some personal training with consulting on the dietary adjustments, sleep, generally lifestyle optimization, and all that kind of stuff. So I have my personal clients that I'm working with, and that allows me to travel together with my husband, whose income is also generated remotely. So that started after pandemic. A lot of businesses shifted to online direction after pandemic, and that happened in my case as well. Also, my YouTube is getting monetized, through some super chat donations and some generated incomes from my videos. Yeah, it's getting there gradually. Hello to everyone. What are we talking about here? Today it's just Q&A, and whatever topics come up. Today it's quite philosophical conversations, about beliefs and about certain opinions and the mindsets. Though my channel is about training, boxing, the lifestyle, I live stream like Q&As, like the similar Q&As as well, where we have conversations, and I do believe, why not? Are you single? No, I'm not. I'm married. Rumi is one of my favorite poets, but he's Sufi, a mystical branch of Islam. Okay, I'll look into it. Let me actually screenshot that. I'll look up some of his stuff. You have very insightful thoughts. I'm for nuanced thinking, and I always try to be nuanced thinker myself. Sometimes people misinterpret this as very often, not very often, but sometimes when I talk to some emotional people and the people who kind of are sticking to certain sides or certain ideas, that it sounds for them like I'm why you're not getting angry, why you're even asking those questions. But that's the thing, we gotta ask those questions. To me, I always, my life developed a certain way that I had to become a solution maker. And I realized when I was emotional about things, it wasn't really getting me anywhere, and things couldn't be done, especially in the situations that you don't really have that much control. So what I learned in my experience is that whatever you despise, whatever makes you angry or triggers you, it's okay. We all get triggered by something, but we gotta learn how to put that aside, become a little bit more neutral, and actually focus on the conversation and encourage each other to aim to that same direction. How can we help it? Okay, there's this problem and that problem in the world, and how can we make it a little bit better, even if we cannot have a direct impact? What can we do within ourselves, and what kind of conversations we can have with more and more people to actually start making things a little bit better. So this is how I look at it. I never look at it to just rage bait and just get angry about things, because what's the point? It doesn't solve anything. Are you based in Vietnam permanently? Not permanently, actually. We've been off. We were back in Georgia for less than a couple months, and we just realized at this point we want to be here in Vietnam, and now we're back for probably next few months, and then we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Ankalaev versus Pereira 3. Sure, but it's not going to happen now because Pereira's victory was so brutal that right now there is no questions. Maybe in a bit. I think Ankalaev has to get at least one other fight before that. Okay, where are you from? I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi. Same country as Merab Tvalishvili and Ilya Topuria. Don't talk about it when you don't have a proper idea, dear. I mean, whatever, or is it said of your religious aspect is not true? Well, religion is such a thing that when people start really insisting that, oh, those are facts, no, none of the religious scripts, ideas are facts. This is a philosophy. It's like philosophically based, and it can be, you can only speculate as a matter of your own belief, and maybe things that actually work. For example, what goes around comes around idea works. You do good things, it actually works in life, that better things happen to you. Though obviously you should not allow people to be invade you and be take advantage of you, right? You still have to have boundaries, but if you do good with the boundaries, good things happen to you. If you do bad, you just could destroy a relationship and bad things happen. So those ideas, we can pretty much agree that, okay, that applies to the reality, that works in the reality. But if you're thinking when I said that Islam pretty much is an invasive religion, well, I'm coming from Georgia, and that's my country's history for more than 1,000 years. So we can agree to disagree, but facts, actual facts, historical facts, and the patterns say what they say. Hi, everyone. Please reply to chat. Well, I mean, I'm all the way on the top pretty much, so. Truth is a personal thing. Each person needs to find truth for themselves. There are certain things that is, if you call it personal truth, it's certain things that work for you, right? And it just makes your life better, more successful, more sustainable. But there is such a thing as the objective truth and inherent truth, and no matter how you want it to be, if it doesn't align with that inherent truth, it just doesn't work that way. One of the good examples to me is every action has the equal and the opposite reaction, right? That's the physics. That's one of the laws of physics, and it works in the physical world, basically. But it also works in the relationships. It also works into like esoterics and the energy exchanging thing. So people who think that they can do things and that doesn't going to have a consequence, they're wrong. They might avoid it, they might just get away with one thing or another. But if a person, for example, they are cowardly and they're non-accountable, and they think that they're right, that they're like, just because I actually had the situation, our friend basically bailed us in the Kuwait when we've been invited, and lately, like, we talked to him recently, essentially, because we basically exposed him with some other people, the way he acted. He was like, oh, why you did that? For him, we were in the wrong and he was in the right, but he was also in he was depressive. That's why, but he never lied to us. In reality, he did a bad thing to us. But if he thinks that it's not going to have a consequence, that's delusional. So no matter what is his personal, and it doesn't matter what is your personal truth and certain things, if it doesn't align with objective truth and like generally how it works in life, it's called delusion. Misconceptions about girls in relationships? Let me think about it. I mean, stop simping to women, and hear me out. Giving a compliment to a woman that you love, or your wife, or someone you can genuinely feel that, and it goes both ways, that you have a chemistry and that woman wants to be around you and all that kind of stuff, is the one thing. But trying to please a woman by, taking her compliments, doing everything, be all agreeable, that doesn't work. I think most of women, and even strong women, want, and also it's not all women are good. Okay, I'm not talking about all women, and it's like a cheat code to all women. It just might be a good looking, and it's very common with the pretty women. A lot of pretty women are just entitled, and they're gonna treat you bad unless you're brutal with them and that kind of stuff. But that's not what you want. If you were talking about a good woman, she still wants your leadership. She wants your strong ground. She wants to be safe around you. She wants to be able to trust you, but also be guided in many things. I mean, it's kind of. I don't think it's even a bad idea. But at the same time, as a woman, she should give you kind of the same. Like the peace and the comfort, and you should be able to be vulnerable with her without fearing that you're going to get judged. But that happens in a deeper level of relationships with the right woman and right man. And we're talking about basic decency. I mean, there are a lot of things that mismatching sometimes, but we're talking about basic level of responsibility and decency. Being able to care for someone else and not being very selfish like it's common in nowadays. So yeah, the main thing is don't simp, don't give up on yourself just to get that one girl's attention. From the beginning, try to find a woman with those qualities, and that doesn't have to be perfect, but those ground qualities like being able to take care of you, being caring and genuinely, worrying for you and, wanting good for you. Being able to actually deal with the hard situations, because you don't want someone who's going to collapse. You want someone who, even though you might be a leader, you want a woman who can have your back when it's needed. And everything else, I think it's manageable. Yeah, I have a husband. A religion is just about comforting. Well, in a big way, it is about comforting, but it's also it's always been about control, especially big religions, always related to politics. And maybe now it's less, but it's still there. It's still there in the actual, no, it's not less. It's maybe even more in some ways. Muslim countries has it, Islam is ingrained in the political level in the Muslim countries. Christianity is not, but I think it's some of the values and some of these ideas are coming back more now within the Christian cultures and Christian countries. I personally believe that we should have the level of awareness that we can live we can build the society on the core ground, like morals of the certain religions. It's fine, but religion should be a choice. No one should be prosecuted or punished for not practicing a religion, even if that's official religion of the country. That's, to me, that is wrong. Hello? You're so smart. I wish more people think like you. I'm just curious. I'm just trying to ask questions. And many times I'm wrong. But what I taught myself is to be open to admit that I'm wrong and actually listen to someone who is right in certain things and learn that. So I think it's important to be able to question your own truths and be flexible on the path of seeking that truth. I prefer an intelligent, less beautiful woman. If you should dissolve between beautiful and intelligent, I prefer intelligence, and that's good for you because you need a person, right? You need a person who has the level of intelligence to deal with life, deal with the relationship. With intelligence comes other qualities like responsibility, accountability. Resilience. There are certain qualities that just come along with the higher levels of intelligence. So, yeah, good choice. What are your thoughts on love should be emotional or physical? I mean, love is a chemistry. It's a biochemical process. So, like physical touch and physical, that's normal and that should be normalized. And but at the same time, I'm more thinking more and more about ideas that just what happens chemistry wise. Let's say if you have too many partners, it happens. It's more for women, but it still works for men as well. That way, the more casual partners you have, the more your ability to bond through oxytocin, which is actually a bonding hormone, one of the so-called happiness hormones. It's decreasing. It's kind of getting number and it's fading, right? And as I said, for women it's even harder than for men. But it doesn't mean that men don't have that problem too. For men, it also becomes a thing at certain point. If it becomes like a very long-term lifestyle. So the point is, I am thinking more and more being kind of culturally encourage a meaningful relationships. Maybe not strictly through marriage, and okay, you have to marry, and not in that way, but in a way that, why would you waste your time for something that is just gonna devastate you at the end, right? And it's just, if you think about it, mostly the casual relationships are for the fast gratification. It is for feeding your own ego. It is for trying to deal with pain or devastation. They're like not a good reasons for it. And it also kills your ability to be able to build things, right? So, yeah, I mean, as much as physical, there is nothing wrong with physicality, and it's like a big part of the creating the chemistry between two people. It has to be, we need more emotional, grounded relationships. And kind of the culture that encourages that, for both for men and women. Do you think I should love my wife instead of her sister? Please reply. I'm confused. I'm sorry. That's a little bit messed up, obviously, and I don't know how it happened, but that's the thing. People follow this urge to love, and sometimes it's because of appearance. Sometimes it's something. Sometimes it's how that person makes you feel. But in reality, I think we need to become a little bit more pragmatic when it comes to that, and actually learn how to look for those ground qualities, and also a combination of certain appearance preferences and certain personal preferences, and just give it a try with people who from the beginning just are better match for you than just you, because we might feel a certain way to completely wrong person, and it is the truth. Marriage becomes now very difficult. Yeah, I understand. Where I come from, it's still a normal, like it's still a common thing. But yeah, I mean divorces and you know what? Do prenups. It's fine. Get married. Create the valid, good in relationships, but do the prenup contracts. And you know what? If your partner is okay with it, because they want to be with you, and you can sit together and you create like the terms where if you separate, you both get harmed to a certain extent, and if you stay together, obviously you create things together, and it's already like kind of agreeable terms. But if a person is willing to do that, like I don't have a problem with that. For example, prenups are a normal thing, and it just creates a security it can create security for both sides, but it also can be an additional thing that we kind of prevent ourselves from being too stupid to just crush the relationship because of I don't feel a certain way. Marriage is not, sometimes you're gonna feel like crap, and there is many other reasons. It's not even necessarily your partner, and usually people clash and like they really mistreat their partners because they feel a certain way because of completely something else, right? So yeah, I mean, once it's a marriage, and especially with kids, before that, break up, fine, it's your thing, do whatever you want. When it involves kids, it's not only you and it's not only your partner, it's this it's your extension. It's new human beings. It's the human beings you are directly responsible for. So yeah, when it comes to the kids, it has to be, I think both men and women need to learn to be pragmatic about it and learn how to love each other and always, be good partners, be good friends, because that also creates that positive dynamic in the family that kids directly can see and mirror the relationship they can see on their parents. They see that their parents are best friends, they love each other, they are sensual to each other, they don't fight, they don't yell at each other, they're patient with each other, they talk and communicate. This is what the model the kids gonna get. So anyway, sorry for ranting with it, but it's like a very important topic, I think, nowadays. Okay, have a good day, thank you. Okay, I'm glad that you're here, guys. Can you sing? Yes, I can a little bit. Okay. I don't think chemical, maybe energy or frequencies, vibration, like is energy, not chemicals. Chemicals are physical, but products of different frequencies. Well, I'm talking about the biochemistry that happens. So when you love someone, there's certain chemical process that starts happening. Yes, it's a physical process, but well, without that process, that emotion is not going to be produced, and that specific feeling is not going to be produced. So that's what I meant. Merab or Jan? Who do you think? Merab. I'm going to go for Merab. Not only because he's Georgian and I want him to win, but yeah. Merab all the way. Sorry, new here. Who are you? Well, my name is Diana. This is Red Hat Diaries, and well, today we talk about. It's just a Q&A. I haven't live streamed in a while, and it's first time in a while, and I'm just trying to get back into the groove. So it's just a Q&A session. But my YouTube is pretty much about boxing, training, that kind of lifestyle. We talk about fights and the upcoming fights and the actual. Both UFC and boxing matches usually, and yeah, this is the life. I'm just here to talk to people basically. Are you just traveling or just for work? We're just traveling because our work is online and we can afford that time-wise. Prenup normally becomes a word once children come along. Well, as I mentioned, when prenup or no prenup, when the children come along, it's your responsibility, guys, to be together. And I'm not saying just be together forcefully, okay, that's what I see the problem with people. Is like, I don't feel a certain way anymore. Well, make yourself feel. Hold that person's hand, look into their eyes. Maybe they're not perfect, maybe that's not what you want, but focus on each other's better qualities. Try to do things together. Try to create an environment that you actually can love each other more than an environment where you just let it go. Love is a work. It's not just thing. Because if you don't work on it, if you don't work on your love and your relationship, it's gonna fade. It's gonna change, and you can let it go very easily. So that's what I mean. It shouldn't be like you have to tolerate each other, because that's also not a good dynamic. Children shouldn't see that you're just forcefully together and you're like clashing at each other and yelling and screaming. But it's your responsibility. You gotta create an environment not only for them but for you as well. To have that partner, to have that person that you can trust, that you can rely on, and vice versa, and etc. At least this is how I look at it. I want to marry, but the one I love find attraction with other girls. I mean, well, that's on you. You rather need a partner that are open with that kind of stuff and you can agree on those things, or otherwise it's probably going to be a problem, because, well, most of people, both men and women, no matter what you say, sometimes they say for men it's different, for women it's different. Emotional, it's not different. Both men and women get hurt, and it doesn't usually end well, and sometimes people can do crazy things because they're hurt. romantically. Speaking of cheating, I mean, I'm not even joking because women can do, and both men and women can do some vicious things because of betrayal. What do you think of UFC 312? Oh, 321. Was the last one about 3-2? So 3-2-0, 3-2-1 is upcoming one, or that one already happened? If the one that already happened, pretty much I liked it. I watched last three fights: Jiri Rountree, Merab Corey, and Poatan and Ankalaev, and I liked it. Like it really, I was really emotional about it. I have some Russian and Ukrainian genes for sure. GDM versus Islam versus GDM, who is going to win? It can go both ways. I think people underestimate GDM a little bit way too much, but I think Islam has chances to win. Like I can give you a prediction of that one. Stay together no matter what, unless other person is abusive. Yeah, that's one important thing, and try to make things work, both of you. Just sometimes, unfortunately, there is one side that works, and try to do things, try to make things better, and another side, but it can be both man and woman. They become too like a stagnant, like they don't want to do anything, and it doesn't work that way either. It's kind of a psychological torture too. We need to encourage both men and women try their best to make each other's lives better and easier and happier, and create that home as a safe place. I think that's actually a good word. You should be each other's safe place. If you are at that point, I think you can always fire up your relationship. You can always get new experiences. But as long as you have that peace and you're a safe place for each other, then you become a safe place for kids as well. Where's your husband from? Is he part Mongolian? My husband is from Norway, so it's a little bit far from Mongolia. You and your husband, are you both best friends? And if yes, then why? Well, yes, we are. And actually, he was the one who said it. He didn't even say that to me. We were just saying, and he was talking about the relationship with some other guy, and he said, like, you know what is the best feeling? When your wife is like, she's my best friend, like genuinely. And that was like, I actually almost cried. It was like, because I was just, I was kind of zoning out a little bit, but then I heard it and I was like, really? Like, you never, like, I mean, we had the dynamic, but that's the first time he said it, and he said it openly to someone else right in front of me. And he said it like, like that's a natural thing. Yeah, of course you're my best friend. And when I said like, oh really, you think so? And it's like, yeah, of course you're my best friend. And that comes from we don't have a macho princess dynamic. And there is nothing wrong with that. It works for some relationships. But the dynamic we have is we both are into sports and athletic. I'm actually a boxer, right? He used to do a different training in sport, and he did some bodybuilding. He knows a lot about fitness and weightlifting and resistance training and diet, nutrition, all that kind of stuff. So it was from the beginning a common field. And then I taught him some of the boxing. I actually taught him how to punch properly, because he's a big guy and he didn't naturally know how to distribute. So we are in the situations that we hang out a lot, we do things together, we train together, we travel together. Like he's refusing. There was some potential for him to go to USA, and I got rejected, and I was saying, if that is important, that's okay, you can go and we'll manage somehow. It's like, I don't want to go without you. Like I can't imagine being like that long, which is 3 months is not that crazy, but it's some time. And we kind of became inseparable. And when you become that kind of relationship, it's not about being a princess. Oh, I'm gonna be treated this way and that way. I mean, we're best friends, but I also became as feminine as possible with him, because it just naturally he brought up within me. And but I can tell you, it is based on the friendship. It like basically being best friends is being able to rely on each other, be vulnerable with each other, and no jealousy, no crazy, like even if you have a conflict, you just talk it out, and that commonly is easier with friends than in relationships somehow. But in our case, this is how it is. And the second thing, that you just like to hang out together. There are many times where like we were out, sometimes by ourselves, sometimes together, and we're like, I just want to hang out with you. Like, let's just go and do our thing. And yeah, it just comes natural and natural. And when it comes naturally, I think that's beautiful. Okay, let me just put this thing on the charge because I don't want it to die. I gotta put the. Hope you still can hear me. Here we go. But yeah, anyways, guys, I mean, I'm ranting a little bit, but we're here to have conversations, not just do like a brief chatting. Okay, just 1 second. Sometimes things get boring and new person might seem exciting, but that new person will also become boring. That's a good understanding because you gotta realize that. It's also another positive thing of having that friendship ground in your relationship. And when I mean friendship, again, you can be completely open with each other. And we kind of made sure that it's not like he tells me something, I was like, how did you tell me that? It never happens to each other, to us. Like I think we're most ourselves with each other. And when you have that kind of ground and you have fun together and can be yourself with each other, it's actually not as boring. As much as you spend so much time, it always transforms, it's always new fun, and you meet new people and it's fine, and it can be exciting, but you realize that you actually would not lose what you have now for any reason, just for have like some quick thing with someone else. So it takes some level of maturity as well, for sure. If your husband was 4'10" like Taporia, would you divorce? Listen, once you like the person, I mean, my husband is tall, okay? So sorry, not sorry. And a lot of people ask me like, oh, I mean, I got married to a tall man, but what I do believe is, and I actually, in Georgia, it's very common. There are some guys not very tall, and they have successful marriages. And my friend, I have one friend that's married to the guy, like literally her height, and they're together for many years, and they love each other and good with each other. And the guy is, he's training, he's lifting, and she's like looks at him the way she used to before. And the point is, if you don't have a problem with that, and if you fall in love, but not only fall in love, you actually choose that person. Like Mighty Mouse is a good example. His wife, actually, I think there is one of the best stories of the marriages. They've been together from the beginning. She helped him to get up, and well, they're still together, and I think they're one of the couple they're gonna be together till the end. She was okay with his height from the very beginning. That means it doesn't matter to her. She loves him the way he is. And he's a cool guy. He's fucking successful now. He's one of the best fighters, like maybe ever, in not only UFC but like in mixed martial arts. She has a lot to be proud of him, and that is one of the big factors. A woman wants to be proud of her man. And that's already, of course, that's up to men for, how he lives his lifestyle. What you shouldn't do is, if height is a problem for you, or like a certain height, or someone slightly tall, shorter, make sure that you don't do that mistake, because you're just gonna, if you're gonna change your mind later because of the height, that sucks, okay? And that's very dishonest, disrespectful to the other person. So yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. And yeah, as much as I heard that a lot of Western women like, oh, he needs to be tall and stuff, like, and tall, like unbelievably tall, like 0.6% tall. That is also what social media shows you. In country where I'm from, I see different couples. I see when the woman is taller, I see when the man is taller, I see a lot of couples that are same height, and it is what it is. They're creating families, and somehow it's working. I know that Tapuri is not 4'10", but it's like it was just a tease on implying on his height. Okay, I'm keep scrolling up, guys. He's from Georgia. Yes, I am. Do women value loyalty, and then do they stay loyal? A good woman is a good man, and the ones they're mature adults, accountable, responsible, resilient, complex, with a certain level of intelligence. People like that, both men and women, they value loyalty. They want to be they're gonna be loyal, but they also want their loyalty back. And there are different terms, okay? The relationships, different things that can be done differently, and it's a matter of agreement. But when we talk about loyalty, it's about talking about being there for each other, respecting each other's, requirements, rules, and finding that common ground. Don't disrespect each other, not only personal, but also in front of others, because social status matters. Okay, the way how you as a person, but also you as the couple and you as the family present in the world matters. I might sound like an old school on that one, but I just the way you present yourself gives you a certain power and influence on other people. Bigger scale, smaller scale. That's why when you have a famous people, some of them are rather not ready or don't understand that high responsibility. Like some of them do, and they understand that reputation, the presence, it matters. Okay, for them to be more influential, a positive role model, and actually be usable for something good. So, yeah, loyalty. I think it's a certain level of intelligence, both men and women, a certain level of decency where loyalty is a natural, required thing. American Chinese, well, it's a Vietnamese cafe, basically. Hey, I'm new here, just found your channel on the live random. Let's start with your introduction. My name is Diana, it's Red Hat Diaries. Well, surprisingly enough, my channel is about training, boxing specifically. I live stream my trainings, I show my journey, how I train, and what is the aspect I'm focusing on. I also do some vlogging videos, and it's pretty much diverse. Like, that's why it's called Red Hat Diaries. Today, I just it's my little comeback with live streaming, Q&A. I'm back, me and my husband are back in Vietnam, in Saigon, and it's just been the place where I actually started live streaming before we left for a couple months. And since we're back, I want to get back into that groove, and I want to keep growing my channel and keep having conversations like this. So that's since I'm not back to training yet, we're not back to in a channel where we have all the gym and all the things that we need. I decided just do a little talking, a Q&A live session. He's from Norway, of course he will be tall. Yeah, their average height is quite tall. Someone asking about the Palestine. I've been saying before the conflict that I don't take sides on that conflict, because both ways horrible things happen. What I'm happy for is that now it is the exchange of the hostages, and I think there's going to be a financing to rebuild Palestine, and the innocent people, the poor people who actually didn't have a chance to finally maybe hope for a peace. We don't know yet how it's going, but if it goes that way, I really do support that. George St. Pierre wife. I mean, I love George St. Pierre. One of the people I would love to meet and shake their hand and tell them that they're being an inspiration. But no, my husband is from Norway and he's also my inspiration. Which country? Georgia. Okay, please. Okay, Ayush. Sorry, I need to time you out because you're spamming some nonsense. So I'm just gonna do this. So you know what is currently happening in Palestine? Children's famines. Yes, I know, and it is horrible. At the same time, a person that I personally know died in the October 7th. Who was in Israel. So when it started first, I was shocked that way too. That's like, I mean, why those things happening, right? So that's what I'm saying. The conflict is very complex, and it has to stop. And I'm glad that it's stopping. And I wish both civilians, both sides of the civilian Palestinians and Israelis to find their common ground, because as much as people want to push like, oh, we want the lands back and this is it, but it's not going to happen that you rather wipe this side or that side. Trump is also saying, I think West Bank is not going to, Israel not going to get the West Bank. At least that's what he's saying right now. If the solution is going to go to the split territories and two-state solution somehow, and the humanitarian event is going to start and the rebuilding process is going to start, and that conflict whether freezes or ideally stops, that's going to make me very happy. But that's the only reason they're going to ask. If you ask me, oh, you need to support one another, no, I'm not going to do that, because I don't do that way. It's not how I look or talk about politics. Do you want... hi Crypto. Do you want to settle in the US? No, not really. I mean, I got rejected on the visa just because I think I traveled a lot and they just didn't like that. We're gonna try to do it one more time, but we just need a visit. We want to visit a friend, and you know, for a certain event. I see ourselves, and we see ourselves more part-time based in Southeast Asia, part-time in Georgia, and essentially in Norway or somewhere in Europe. That's pretty much the places that we, especially Eastern Europe, we like that area too. What are these bots spamming? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna have to go soon anyways because I have some work to do. So I appreciate you being in the live stream, and well, I'm happy to be back. I'm gonna do more of the training live streams and you know all that kind of stuff as well. So stay tuned. Yeah, I'm from Georgia. Love from Sri Lanka. Hi. Greetings from Vietnam. But okay, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I gotta go now, and I see you in the next live stream. Ciao.